Greetings, brothers and sisters in Christ, and happy Easter to you. Many of you will be listening to this video during the time we call the Triduum, the 3 holiest days of the year, that begin on the evening of Holy Thursday and go until the evening on Easter Sunday. During those 3 days, everything changes. On Holy Thursday night, we remember the foot washing of Jesus, a symbol of service, the institution of the Eucharist, his body and blood, and the institution of the priesthood. So we celebrate that. Good Friday, we know we walk with the Lord in his passion. We reverence his cross. We reverence that instrument by which he brought about new life. And then on Holy Saturday, what happens? Our tradition says that on Holy Saturday, Jesus went down to hell, as far down as you can go, and he knocked down the doors of hell in order to bring us back. Symbolically, our ancestors Adam and Eve. And then we gather on Easter Saturday night, as soon as the sun has set, when it seems as if darkness has covered everything, and the first thing we do is light a fire. We say that Jesus Christ is the light of the world, and his fire and light will never be extinguished. No darkness will ever conquer it. And then we celebrate that Christ is risen from the dead. I'd like to look briefly at an ancient homily that's from the Office of Readings that talks about that encounter when Jesus goes down to hell. The homily says that the whole world was sleeping, but hell was trembling. And Jesus went searching for our ancestors, for Adam and Eve. And it says that he knocked down the doors of hell, and he was carrying with him the instrument of his death, the cross. And then we hear that Jesus reached out by the hand, grabbed Adam, lifted him up and said, "Awake, O sleeper, rise from the dead. Christ will give you light." And then Christ goes on to talk to Adam. He preaches to him and he says, "I did not create you for hell. I did not create you for death. I created you for something much more than that." We hearken back to the creation of Adam and Eve when we were in friendship with God, when we lived in the Garden of Eden, if you will. Jesus says then, "For your sake, your God became your son. I, the Lord, took the form of a slave. I, whose home is above the heavens, descended to the earth, and now I've come beneath the earth to hell in order to find us and to bring us up." And then Jesus says, "For your sake, you who left a garden, I was betrayed by the Jews in the garden, and I was crucified in a garden." So Jesus wants to go into where we got lost in order to find us and bring us back. Then he says, "See my hands, they were nailed firmly to a tree." Compare those to your hands who reached up and grabbed the apple, the original sin, if you will. By the hands of Jesus, he comes to heal our sin. Lastly, Jesus says, "The bridal chamber is now adored. The banquet is ready. An eternal dwelling place is set. Because of my death and resurrection, you have friendship and union with the Father and the God who made you. Come and celebrate."